Hello everybody, I'm Colette the Highway Stitcher. I'm here to bring you my stitching from the highway and at home. And I'm home now for probably another month and got home from the river house about 2 weeks ago. It's 41 degrees here, 5 degrees Celsius, and I'm going up only to a high of 43, 6 degrees Celsius for all my other friends who I'm so grateful for in other parts of the world. We've been having cloudy, cold weather, lots of snow, mostly in the mountains, some in the valleys where we live. And I would say it's been better than it was last year. We're getting more snow, which is what we need we need mountain snow for our waters and our reservoirs. And so that has been good. We're supposed to get another major storm this afternoon and into the evening and tomorrow for Christmas Eve, and then maybe even Christmas Day. So I'm sure all the kiddies will enjoy that. It might be mostly mountain snow at first, and then it'll move down to the valleys probably and change the rain. Because right now we're having rain, not snow. It's a little too warm to snow. So anyway, I've been missing in action, first of all, to tell you for a while. I've been feeling rather funky. I don't know, just haven't been in the mood to make a floss tube. But that hasn't stopped me stitching though. I was thinking it was funny. I was saying I was feeling funky, and then the two things that have been kind of stopping me are F words too. I'm feeling funky, but I'm doing lots of finishes, and I had a flu shot, and that really hit me. So I'm not really sure why, because it hasn't ever before, but between just wanting to work on my stitching, which I did, and not taking up any time for making a video, and then also for kind of being thrown through the back of the bus with this flu shot, then I haven't videoed for quite a while, and I think it's been about a month. The flu shot, when I took it, at first was fine, but then within a couple days I was feeling so tired and so drug out and so sore and everything else. Didn't get any fever or anything like that, or sore throat or anything, but just the muscle aches and everything. And when I got the COVID shot, I didn't have that, so it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. So I was kind of out of commission for a long time and just didn't feel like doing anything other than just sitting there stitching. And then when I got too tired of stitching and started falling asleep, then I just went, okay, it's time to go to bed. So that was kind of my last almost month. And at the river house, I just felt like just kind of sitting back and relaxing and watching old Christmas movies and all this kind of stuff. So just was enjoying myself, and I guess that's good. But now I'm back. I have a couple finishes, FOs to show you, and also some more stitches on my whips. So, and I'm hoping after that to go back to my weekly schedule and feel motivated to do that. So first of all, my major finish is the Linen and Threads Mystery Salver 2021. If you are on my Instagram, you've seen pictures of this, but here you can see it in person. Sometimes the pictures on video are a little better, sometimes they're not, but in this case I think it shows it pretty nicely. The last part that we had to finish was those 3 hearts down there. That was the last of our mystery. I did make a change. Any of you who've been working on the project know that above the big orange and blue heart in the middle, right above it, there was just some more stitching, and I put 2021 because I wanted it to have the year that I stitched in it. So anyway, this was stitched on 32 count Zweigart Lugana. I wanted my colors to pop, so I used white. I'm using 5 DMC colors. If anyone's interested, contact me by email. I'll have it on my in my parts below in my video. And I really enjoyed it. This was a really fun stitch. Loved it. I have my own Talavera pottery. It was just a joy to stitch every single month. So, and but I am glad I'm done. I'm not sure if I'm going to participate in any sales this coming year. I might be concentrating on other things, but I don't have my plan set in stone yet for that, only just my 1 week plan. So hopefully I'll have that set by next week before the new year, I'm hoping. Oh, this is 2 over 2 threads. 2 threads over 2 floss threads. And that's about it. So anyway, yay, I'm done. I also had a small finish at the end of last month in November. When I had just gotten up to the river house, I did finish up the November Lizzie Kate Stamp It series. So here's that turkey. I did a lot of substituting in the colors. This is on any of you who haven't been watching me on a regular basis. This is being stitched on a 32 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. And I did a lot of subbing on this. Some I did have maybe about half the colors and the other half I subbed. So if you are interested in working on this, you can contact me and I'll tell you what I subbed out. So I'm kind of bummed right now. For some reason, and I don't know why, my December Flip It, which I actually was looking at when I was up at the river house, but I'm sure I stuck it back in my bag, is lost out of my project bag. Can't find it, and I'm not very happy because that was one of my last projects that I wanted to work on before the end of the year. And I don't see that I left it up in Washington. If I did, it must have slipped under the chair or something else because it wasn't obvious. I'm hoping I didn't. I'm going to look a few other places, but if I did, well, it's going to bring up a whole other thing, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to wait till I go back and look for it up there, and so just not complete that one until I find it, or if I'm going to say, okay, is there anyone I can borrow it from? But then again, I'm sure I couldn't get it in the mail soon enough, so before Christmas, to get it done before Christmas. So I'm guessing I'm just going to keep looking. If I can't find it, then I'll go up to Washington, look for it. If not, I guess I'll just have to buy it to complete the series. Not happy about that, but anyway, this one's done. So it's 2 over 2, 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads. And the colors mostly on these are like Sampler, Guest, and Weeks. So, with a few DMC thrown in. So those are my finishes. So now I'm going to move on to some Christmas stitching. I'm working on this enchanted ornament stocking. It's a dimensions kit, and I'm using the kit floss and the kit fabric for it. I was visiting with some Utah stitching friends, and one of my friends that was sitting across the table from me was also working on the dimensions gold stocking and complaining about the things I was complaining about. And I said, oh, you're dimensioning. And so we have our term now in Utah, we say we're dimensioning, which in and of itself is a whole nother world, people. Those of you who've done it know. Anyway, I didn't get a whole lot done on this since the last time I saw you. Some stitches that needed to get done for final challenges took precedence. So this is what, I'm not even sure actually if this is what, when I showed you last time, if this is what I already had, which could very well be. I may not have completed any more since then. So, but anyway, I thought I'd show it to you. And I'm going to work on it some this week along with my 2 other Christmas stitches. Sometimes I have a love-hate relationship with this and I don't want to pick it up. And then other times I kind of enjoy it. So I guess that's what dimensioning is all about. So anyway, other things. This is 2 floss threads, depending on if it's blends or solids or metallics or whatever, over 1 Aida thread. Since I'm using the Aida, which is a light blue, 16 count. And I'm doing a stitch along with Amy, who I'm sure is tons farther along on this than me. So, but good for you, Amy. So anyway, that's the gold stocking. Some more Christmas stitching, which again, I didn't get very much done on it, was up on the housetop. This is a Teresa Kogut Creative Whims pattern. It was given to me by a dear friend, Brenda, one of my Utah friends. And so really was excited about it. But again, I've been working on finishing challenges. So the only thing I did with this was add the middle snowman, I think. But again, when I haven't done a floss tube for over a month, that's sometimes hard to remember. But I think I did have the other snowman done and the up on the top done. Those of you who have a better memory probably know. This is being stitched. Let me see. I have it written down here because it's not the called for, even though it looks like it. It's a 28 count Picture This Plus Twilight. I thought it was a pretty color. I'd gotten this I gotten when I was doing some Picture This Plus the monthly linen, so about 3 or 4 years ago, club. So I pulled this out and thought, oh, this will be really cute on that, and it's close enough to the color. I am using the called for Weeks and DMC that goes with this. So only one little snowman done. He's cute though. He's looking up at the sky. So we'll see what I can get done this coming week on with some more Christmas stitching. And this is 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads. Ho ho ho. Snowman. Oh, and again, that's what it looks like when it's done. I love that house. So, and then the last Christmas stitch I'm doing is from a retreat that I went to. It was an exclusive chart from the retreat, and it's a Brenda Gervais, Santa Stops Here. So I did a little bit more on this probably than on the other two, but it still won't look like a lot because it's the house I'm working on mostly and the door. So this is being stitched on a 36 count. I believe it's Winter Brew, R&R Winter Brew. You can kind of see through it, but I'll put it up a little closer. There you can see the house. I think before I had the 2 windows and some of the bricks in the candy house done. So mainly what I filled in was the other side of the bricks from the 1 window and the white door. And some of that stitching across. That's white. This is being stitched 1 thread over 2. So 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And let me see here. Oh, mostly Weeks and DMC on this one. This came as a kit, but she did have down that it was R&R Winter Brew, and we had all our threads there on floss drops. So, and she gave us this cute little Santa needle minder, which I didn't get off to when I ironed. I just kind of ironed around it, so it's kind of cute. So that's been a fun stitch. I love these houses that have like the bricks and the the blocks. I mean, they look like bricks where you can see them with the house. Those kind of houses are my favorite, even though they're not necessarily my favorite to stitch because you've got to do a lot of counting. It's not like just filling it in, but boy, they look so cool. They look so cool when they're done. So that's my final Christmas stitch I'm working on. Okay, so on to the challenges that I was trying to work on. The first challenge, and I did finish, was Talavera. Finished it up last week. I did not work on it right when I got it because I was up at the river house and I didn't want to, well, actually I didn't really have a way of copying it off, and I just didn't want to do it off my PDF or anything. So I just opted to wait till I got home because that particular one I like to print it and just color it off. So I got that one done as a finish, which I was planning on doing. And then I finished up the last stitches for December for our yearly challenge in Daily 30, our Daily 30 group, which is a closed group right now, but they do open it, and you can get invitations to it. So it does open up every now and again. We had a zombie run challenge, and I've mentioned that all during the year. But our zombie run, to retell you one last time, because we're starting up a new challenge in January 1st, but you had 4 patterns, whips or new starts, that you put down at the beginning of last January, and then you would work on them until you finished them, and then you would continue. I mean, you pick another one to place in it. And you chose if you were a human or a zombie, depending on how fast you stitch or how many stitches you do at a time. And you completed 400 stitches for every 2 miles for running. And depending on the month, you had either 10 miles on the shorter months, 12 miles on the others. So this was a long month, so I had to do more stitching. And so these are what I'm finishing up as far as my zombie run for the year. I was working on Stitch Mania pieces, seeing how many I could get done. I did complete, I will tell you in my yearly plans next week for sure whether it was 5 or 6. But I know I completed 5 or possibly 6 Stitch Manias. And that was my goal, was to pull Stitch Mania whips that I had and work on them during Zombie Run and see how many I could get done. So I'm pretty happy with that. This is Harriet Elizabeth Coe, which is also 1844 by Brenda Gervais. This is also a Zombie Run piece. And I'm getting close to finish, but because of other finishes that I need to do, it will not get finished by the end of the year. But it will get finished before Stitch Mania in May, and that was my actual goal, was trying to finish up lots of pieces, Stitch Mania pieces, by May 1st. So what I got, I did end up doing 800 and some stitches on this, so I ended up 4 miles on this one because I had finished down the sides, and then I decided instead of going up and doing the motifs, some more of the motifs in the middle, I thought, you know, I better check and make sure that this border matches at the bottom. Oh, don't you hate it when the border doesn't match? So anyway, I checked it on both sides, and it, you know, I counted with my counting pens. It looked like it was going to match up, but of course I always worry, so I did the actual line of the border all the way across. It matched, so I thought, oh, I'm on a roll. I guess I'll go do my next 2 miles for Zombie Run on Harriet instead of on another piece. So Harriet now has the complete border around and almost the complete flowers. I'm going to finish up the flowers next month for Daily 30 because whatever the challenge is, Harriet got put in as one of my challenge pieces for our next challenge. This is being stitched on 28 count, picture this plus fog, 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads, and all the called for floss, which was mostly, let's see, it was Weeks and Guest, Gentle Arts. She's really looking pretty now, especially with that border completed. So that was the first Zombie Run. That was completed for December to end the challenge. The second is also coming along, but I only did 412 stitches on that. That is Emerald City by Al Forrest Designs. This was a Stitch Mania start in 2020. Harriet Elizabeth Coe was a Stitch Mania start actually in 2018, I think. So it's really stupid. Maybe 2019 that I didn't get it done. So anyway, this is another one that I picked up from Stitch Mania Start, figuring that I could eventually get it done. And I was really moving along good on it, but as I mentioned in one of my past floss tubes, part of this and me are having a love-hate relationship. If you remember, I was just hating, but loving, the Emerald City there in the middle. I kept making mistakes on it. Well, this last time I did it, I was finishing it up, I thought, which would have only been the whole thing's almost done, except for just this little, you know, part right here. And then I could have gone, yay, I get to move on to the flying monkeys and to everybody else. And then I counted down, and again I made another mistake, so I have to rip it out. So since I had 400 stitches without the rip, I went, I just put it down for its finish, or its 400 stitches, 2 miles, and said forget it. I'm not going back and ripping this out, because originally I thought, I'm going to finish it totally and then maybe move on to another motif. But when it didn't fit, then I said no, I'm going to rip it out sometime after the new year. So Emerald City is almost done, and when I rip out this last time and finish that last part, that will be it. And I'm hoping. So this is being stitched on a hand-dyed by Rolanda 32 count Lugana It was not named, or if it was, I lost the darn tag, so I don't know. But I thought this was perfect. It looked like the tornado, and so I thought, this is perfect for Emerald City. So it's being stitched 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads, and I did use all the DMC that goes with it. I just didn't use, I didn't get a kit, and I didn't use their fabric. I found this fabric in my stash. It was perfect, so I decided to use it. So anyway, that was the second zombie run piece that finished up. It will be continued for sure. It was put down for next year's challenge so that I can finish it up before May for Mania. So I have many pieces done. This next one is not a Mania piece. It's a piece that I'm stitching for my granddaughter. If you guys watch frequently, you know this is Garden Prelude. My granddaughter is a wonderful musician. She's a violinist and just does a wonderful job with her violin, but she's also in a band, a church band, where she does pop music and she plays the bass guitar, electric bass guitar, and she was showing that to me the other day. And then she also plays the acoustic guitar and the what else? There's something else she plays too. Can't think of it right now, but she's just amazing. And she will go on to the University of Utah. She's majoring in actually math right now. She's quite the math whiz, but she's using it to go on to be a doctor, she's hoping. So she's quite the lady. Anyway, I did 400 plus stitches on this. It's probably a little easier to show on this pattern. So you can see how the dress is just going way out both ways. I've completed all of that, which I'll show you. This I had gone down, I had kind of gone down like that and over to that and was going out. But I decided I needed to finish up this here. I am not doing the flowers or these arches. I'm just doing her to get her done so I can give it to her when she turns 18. So I knew I needed to figure out and stitch this area here to not make a mistake with putting the flowers in. So that's what I worked on, was this little area right here. I know I got 400 plus stitches on it. So I thought I'd show with that because then I can lift this up and you can kind of see what I did. So this is a longish piece, and I thought I was going to be doing the whole thing, which I didn't end up. So I'm folding it up a little. There you go. Now you see her. So she's looking so pretty. I changed the hair color to Mari's hair and Mari's skin tone to reflect her. So as you can see on that side where the ribbon is and going on down, that's where I stitched this time, so that I could make sure I had the right stitches in the right area. And this is also on my next year challenge for Daily 30, the yearly challenge. So we had to pick 3 pieces, and this is my third because it does need to get done. This is being stitched on a 32 count Picture This Plus demoiselle. Real pretty pale blues, purples, yellows, pinks in it that don't really show up good unless you actually, it might show up a little bit there. But it's very pale, very, very pale and hard to see. But it's pretty. It kind of adds to this particular piece. And it's 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads, and with all the called for DMC. I love her dress colors. Love those blues and those purples. Oh, love them, love them, love them. So you already know, I guess. I don't have to re-mention it, but I have 3 pieces for our challenge next year, our yearly challenge for Daily 30. So we're waiting to, today was, I think, the last day that you could actually put your 3 choices. Otherwise you can't join the yearly challenge after that. So I'll be interested in seeing, probably sometime after that, they're going to see what we're going to do. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, this was actually my 4th in the Zombie Run Challenge, which we had 4 choices we picked. I put it in so I could keep up on our monthly goal, but I figured I'll still be able to keep up on the monthly goal without entering it into my 3 pieces for next year. This is a sal that I'm doing with a lot of Utah friends. That's what it kind of expanded into. It was first started by my friends Brenda and Kim and myself. I'm the fearless leader, trying to keep everybody on track. We have divided up the parts of this sal so we can do one section per month and then have it done by next October, because we started in October. That's right. Everybody else was at another retreat, and I was at a totally different retreat. But we all started at the same time. Let's see. Our hashtag, if you want to join us, is hashtag Gardens Stitching. This is a Hello by Liz Matthews pattern that we just adored. And so we decided to start it as a group. Mine is being stitched on the called for fabric, actually, because I had it. It was a Be Stitched Me fabric called Not Another Sampler. It's kind of a creamy one. So, kind of a light cream with a tiny, tiny bit of modeling. Just looks a little more white there, so probably this is showing it a little better. The section I worked on since last month was the middle part right here. So from here to here. Here to here. I got carried away. I was watching a Christmas movie and I continued those lines out farther than I was really supposed to. But that's all right. That means I have less to do next time I work on it, which I will not be picking this up. We are doing this as a sal from the 15th of the month to the 15th of the month, which I'm really glad about, because a lot of my other pieces, that challenge pieces, were like from the 1st to the 1st, and I prefer this because I usually don't pick this up and work on it until after the 1st, until after I've gotten my other pieces done by the 1st. So it's worked out well for me. Usually I pick it up on the 2nd or 3rd of the month, do my section, finish it up in a couple days, and then I'm done. So it's worked out good so far. This will not be in the next year's challenge because we could only pick 3, but I'll just continue on with it. It's being stitched with Gloriana threads, silk threads. Absolutely beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Just the colors are so pretty. And it's 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads for the 32 count. Okay, that takes care of all the last of the zombie run. So now I'm going to move on to temp typo. When I didn't put these all in order, and that ended up shoved near the end when I normally do it at the beginning. This is my temperature topography piece. I'm going kind of crazy right now because I haven't even gotten ready at all for next year's whatever I do for temperature. And our another group of mine, they want to do a temperature piece, and I'm not even ready for it. So I will get it. But it's one of these ones where I'm going to change all my colors out and make them more prim this year, because a lot of my friends in this group are more prim stitchers and prim colors. And because of that, I haven't even printed it out yet. I haven't even decided on my fabric. I haven't decided on my colors. So I'm going to have to get a move on for next year's. But this is this year's, of course, and I'm doing Stitching Mommy, her temperature topography, which I've really enjoyed. Really, really enjoyed. I've stitched now up through the M in December. If I worked on it today, I might have been able to do the B, but that's fine. And as you can see, we've been getting cold weather. The purples are the coldest. The medium blues are the next coldest, and then the lighter, brighter blues are the next, are the warmest. The purples are the coldest, and then we got the medium blues, and then the bright blues. And then you see just a few darker greens in that when we had some weird weather where it went up to about 50. For us, that was weird this time of year. Because November was that way too. November, we had a really dry November. People were really worried because if you look here, we had green, it was dry, but it was cold. Really cold, but really dry. No precipitation at all, which is not good in the mountains or here. So all you California people, that's our seasons. So I love seasons, though. I love the seasons, and I love seeing this take shape. I just love it. This is being stitched on a 32 count Be Stitched Me fabric called Peanut. It's a creamy color, but a little little more creamier than Not Another Sampler. So you can kind of tell it when you look a little closer at it. There is more cream in that one. And it's 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads, and it's the varied 4-degree temperature for any of those that are working on this or going to work on it. Since Utah kind of goes up and down kind of frantically, it worked best for this. And I'm almost done. Next week, it won't be quite, December 31st. I'm going to plan for a video on Thursday, so it'll be through probably all the way to E. So I'll have to show the completed one after the new year. Okay, my last piece, which is I'm working on a challenge to finish this up too, and any of you have been following my Instagram know about this. My poor tattered picture of a lace maker by Artisy. I chose this last year as my Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group challenge of 21,000 stitches in 2021. There was a time there when I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep up on it. But later on in the year, I hustled again and buckled down, and I now have exactly 1,500 stitches to go, and I have a week and a half. I will achieve that. I usually am pretty lucky to work on this at least every day, every other day, 300, 400 stitches, so I know it'll get done. So I'm pretty excited about that. When I left off, I pulled this off the Q-snap so you could kind of see more of a full view of it. This was a brand new start last year on 25 count. I like to work on 25 count. It was a Zweigart Lugana. Yeah, because it's not a gridded Lugana. Some of mine are gridded. This one I was gridding myself, as you can see. So it was a brand new start. The last time I looked at it last night, when I had completed 19,503 stitches, I had 26.87%. So I'll be close to 30% by the time the challenge is done at the end of the year. So been really enjoying that. Just excited. They started another challenge, 22,000 stitches in 2022 for this coming January, and I did join up. I'm just excited about the fact that with that, I'll have more than half of this done if I work on that challenge, and that's just, I'm excited about that. So to have more than half done, if I finish the challenge next year for the 22,000, will be really great. This is being stitched 1 floss thread over 1 thread, so it's a 1/1 full cross, which is what I usually do with my full coverage. So I was going to say that brings me into plans, but not quite yet. But I will tell you the plans on this because I will definitely be working on that and getting the 1,500 done. That is a given, and I'll be glad to check that off, show my picture on Full Coverage Fanatics, and say that I finished the challenge for the year. I'll also, of course, be working on temperature topography, and if I find the Lizzie Kate, I'll do that. That usually takes me a couple full days. It's about, if I work on it totally with nothing else, it takes me 2 full days. So I'll get that done if I find it. And then I'm going to do the Christmas stitching probably through Christmas and past. I'll work on the stocking, on Santa Stops here, and on up on the housetop. So those are my immediate plans through next week. Before I forget, I'll show you what I've done on the my sled for my bobbin lace, which a lot of you have been following. This is bobbin lace making, and if you want to find out more about it, it's in my past videos. Anyway, these were worked in sections. The reason why there are lots of threads is, I mentioned that before, when you finish a little section, stitching, lacing it, which is a form of weaving, then you have to sew the stitches in, and then you have to tie them in knots and cut them off. But the reason why you leave them long is in case there's an issue with a stitch that was not sewed in good, and when you take this whole piece off, this is the back side, you take it off, pull the pins out, remove it from this lace pillow, which you're working on, because that's your pattern. You turn it the other way, that's the proper way of it. That's the right side of the fabric. And if you start tugging on these, if one of the parts that's stitched isn't attached to the other part, then you take like these long threads and you sew it in so it will be attached. So that's why all the long threads are left there for these tape lace patterns, which are put in sections. So anyway, what I did, see if I can pull this out, is I worked on this section here, which took me a long time because if you look at that, there's like lots of little circular parts. 1, 2, 3, one big one in the middle there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one I had to thread my bobbins, restart it, do a little section, a little circular section, and then sew it in and tie it off. So it took me quite a while to do that. I was teasing my lace friend who chose this for a pattern for us to do. We were all teasing her because we said, yes, Elizabeth, this will get done before Christmas. Yes, Elizabeth. And she goes, well, I just got it done. And I go, well, you weren't working on anything else but this. Those are the rest of us happen to be working on other things too. So she says, yeah, I guess maybe it was a little too much for Christmas. My plan is I still want to finish it. I'm excited about it. I'm getting about half done, I would say. And I know what to do with the rest. So, I'm going to keep working on it even though it won't be Christmas. So my next section that I'm going to work on are these trails right up here. So what I'll do is I'll sew in here. These sections here are threads that go across and do what's called a bounce. This is an actual type of lace called Bedfordshire lace from England. And they use a method, actually Cluny in Bedfordshire. Cluny is more the French version of their Bedfordshire. And the Cluny lace, which works the same, except when those threads come in, they do what's called a bounce, where they change places with the other threads there, and then they go back across and do that. So you don't have to keep adding in this pair as you're doing it each time. So that makes it a lot faster. So once I add in all the pairs for that trail and that bounce, it'll get done fairly fast on that section. So anyway, that's just a fast thing about the lace. Not that fast, sorry. But I probably need to refer to one of my past bobbin lace videos so that you can go back and find out all the information, and then I can just show you guys, what I was doing each month. So that's the plan. I'll move on to that. Now, whether or not I do it this week is a little in question because I'm still frantically trying to finish up the end of the year challenges. So I may not work on this. If I don't show it next week, that means I didn't work on it. But I will definitely pull it back out again. So those are all the things I worked on. I want to get this uploaded and done so I can go back and work on my lace maker, stitching lace maker, not actual lace. So before I forget, and I haven't forgotten, I'm going to give you a gratitude quote. And this one reminded me, the reason why I pulled this one out is I just liked it because it reminded me of my birthday stitch that I did with my birthday twin and friend Krista. Because we did a drawn thread, Those Who Sing, and about with the birds and the tree and the house. So this picture is of a bird, and it says the bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. So I love that. So we don't always have answers for things that happen in our life, but we can always sing. So everybody remember to sing, to sing, to sing. Anyway, before I lose my voice totally, oh my goodness. I want to say bye to everybody. I wish everybody, all my subscribers, viewers, I wish you all a happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. I hope you have a blessed Christmas, celebrating the birth of our Savior. And also, I hope you have a wonderful New Year's, and have a lot of plans, fun plans for your cross-stitching in the upcoming year. Love you all. You take care, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye.